What happened on that day?
She said that I have a case to answer. So once you're being told that you have a case to answer, then automatically there is a sentence.
And you're remanded for how long before the...
For almost 2 months.
2 months in remand?
In remand, in the industrial area.
That's plus at the police cell at the police station?
Yeah, no. That one is in the remand.
Industrial area?
Industrial area.
Inda. How is it there?
Inda is expensive. Everything are being sold. You buy everything. Even where you sleep.
Did you listen to the Hot Breakfast this morning? Here's what you missed. A story a day.
Now imagine, just for a moment, being accused of a crime that you didn't commit. Imagine for a moment that crime is rape. That's what happened to our guest today. Accused, taken to court, convicted, sentenced to 10 years in jail. 10. He served 2. And he's going to tell us what happened. Joining us live in the studio, Meshack Simba. You know him better as the landlord. He's in the house today. He plays alongside, is it DJ Shitty?
Yes, DJ Shitty.
Mm-hmm. Meshack, welcome to Hot 96.
Thank you so much.
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you too.
Hey, that's a tough story, man, because being accused of rape is like one person's word against another.
Against the world, actually.
And it's usually the most, of all crimes, I think, that's the worst you can be accused of.
Yeah. Tell us your story. So what happened?
Oh, let me start doing my introduction. I'm Meshack Simba. I'm an actor by profession. Born and raised in Kisumu, though I'm from Kindu Bay, Homa Bay County. Yeah, my dad was a tailor. Yeah, and there's some time I used to stay in an orphanage. Actually, I was brought up in an orphanage. Yeah, in Obunga. Slum. We normally call Obunga Okorach to Yeber. Means the outer look of Obunga is totally bad, but when you are inside it, you will regret why you didn't come a bit earlier. Yeah, so
Jeff, that's an invitation.
Clearly.
Yeah, so I grew up in an orphanage, even though I had my both parents, but they were totally unable because I come from a poor background. So school in Kisumu. So my first time coming to Nairobi, I am up to now a member of Kenya Red Cross Society Kisumu branch. So our coordinator by then, called Karen Akechu, she was asking if maybe we can come up with a skit, because we had a general annual meeting of the Red Cross at the regional level. So she was asking who can come up with a skit, a storyline just about the theme of about the 7 principles of Kenya Red Cross. So I came up with an idea, and she fell in love with my idea plus my show, the way I was acting. And she told me that, Simba, as long as you're in Kisumu, I don't think if you will go far. So I will want to connect you with some friends of mine from Nairobi, because that is where talent lies actually. So she connected me with Steve Ogana, Felix Kodeja Lango, and Will Broder, because they were doing some shows at the Kenya National Theatre. Yeah, so my first time I came and I met the crew of the Culture Spill production, so we started acting there. So through that process of acting, I also got another opportunity of acting with the Naswa under Maxwell Otieno on Citizen TV. Yeah, so during that time, I also met some friends. I joined business world, and at the same time I was acting. Yeah, so the lady, my friend by then, actually, she was my fan. Yeah, she used to follow most of the program I was doing. She was a student at the University of Nairobi. Yeah, so through that process, we started dating. I remember there's even I introduced her to my friends By then, one of them is Wycliffe Ngoy. So my friends knew her as my girlfriend, even though she never introduced me to any of her relative, but only her roommates knew me as the boyfriend. So through this process, we were dating for 2.5 years. So there's a certain day I got under our company, we got a tender of doing an advert. So being that I was the one coordinating almost everything, and the location and everything, and our shoot, we wanted models. She's a model, so we wanted models to do the advert for us. So I felt like I'm looking for models, and my girlfriend, she's also a model. Charity begins at home. Why don't I give her a chance? So I give her a call. I went to her room, all 20 actually box. So after that we talked. I told her that I'm looking for 3 more ladies who can do the job. She even called 2 of her friends. I auditioned them at her hostel, her room. So after that, I told them that you will be called the next day. You will be picked at the school. Then we go for a shoot. Everything happened the way I had planned it. Actually, it was a D-Day, last day for the advert. So being that I had a lot of movement, and these friends of mine were also going back, so I had a lot of movement from the set to the airport, dropping some of the guys who I was working with. So I gave this lady an envelope, because I was given an envelope of the payment check. So I felt like the check is safe when she's with the check, you see. So I gave her the envelope. It was written confidential with a cross in red. So after giving her, unfortunate, during this time, I misplaced my phone. So after misplacing my phone, I came back. I could not relocate to where I put the phone, and I went to where I was staying in Amboseli. So I called a friend of mine through another phone I was using before I bought the one which got lost. It was a new phone. So I called a friend. I told her, like, go to UN, go pick the check from Sarah. So the guy went and got the check, even though the envelope was opened. So he asked that, did you open the envelope? I said, no, I didn't open the envelope. Then I said, that is the check there? Yes, the check is there, even though the envelope is open. So I told him that it's okay, take the check. The most important is the check. So I didn't bother to call the lady to ask, why did you open the check, you see. So what I did, the phone I was using, the phone I renewed the line, then the phone I was now using, before this scenario, there was a vaccination of polio with the Kenya Red Cross, and I was part of the team. Actually, I was the one heading the team. We were along the Isili side. So I met a former schoolmate of mine. We schooled from primary together in Kudo Primary School in Kisumu. So I met her. She was working under the Ministry of Health, and I was under the Kenya Red Cross. So we took some pictures together. Just as when you meet a long-term friend of yours, automatically the joyful and the excitement is there. So I took some pics plus the selfie, and one of the pictures, actually, I sent some pics to her. So I decided to put one of my pictures as a screensaver from my phone. So when I went to this, the lady called me almost 3 times, but I didn't see the phone ringing. So when I saw the missed call, I decided, let me not call her, let me just go to her room. So I went to her room. I found her, she was alone, listening to a music of Sauti Sol on a laptop. So I asked, like, where's your roommate? And she told me that they are not within. So I went there, sat next to her. You know, the hostel, we normally have a bed, table, and 2 chairs. So I just went and sit next to her at the bed. So we started talking stories. We eventually made love. So after we made love, now I was like, hey baby, it's a bit late. I need to go because I know the rules and regulation of the school. 10 before, you are not allowed to be in the school before 10 in the morning, and past 10 you are not. So it was around to around 8, 9 there. So I told her like I was leaving. So before I left, when she was half naked, actually she was with the bra plus the pant. So I decided, being that she's my girlfriend, let me take some of her pics. So I told like, babe, I'm taking some pic. So she was posing, you know the way models pose, doing the stuff here. So I was taking the pictures as she was posing for the picture. So she told me like, okay, babe, let me see the pictures. So when I gave her the phone, you know this touch screen, when you hold it, it goes back to the screensaver. When you touch any, so it went back to the screensaver, and she asked like, who is this lady? I told her, this is a colleague of mine and a former schoolmate, a family friend. I never saw any bad reaction towards that, and she told me that being that I have a cat next week, I need to go have some reading with my friends. So I told her, okay, you show me out, then we'll talk more. So she showed me out up to the gate. I took my ID, because every time I go there, I normally sign. I write the name of the lady, the room number, everything. I normally follow the regulation and the rules of the school security. So I went there, took my ID. I even gave the security lady who was there some tip, because she's a friend of me. I normally go there most of the time. Sometimes they normally ask like, Simba, you don't need to go through this process because we know you. And I was like, no, this is your job. I have to respect it. So after that, I went home. So upon reaching at home, the next day, I got a call from the school, the security. And the one who called me, someone who knows me, the security guy, he even called me by my name, Mariano. Hi, where are you? That was the question he asked. I said that I'm within. You know, you don't just disclose where you are and everything, especially to those who does not call you all the time. So as I told him that I'm within. Then he was too open with me. He told me there's a case which your girlfriend, that is the word he used, your girlfriend Sarah has brought to us. So it was like, what kind of case are you talking about? So I hung up on the guy. I started calling the lady if maybe something happened the moment I left. So I called, she was not picking my call. I texted, she was not, like, just update me what's going on. I've been called by the security, nini naendelea. You see, she was not responding. So I called back the guy and I told him that, okay, I'm coming. So I went from where I was living, I went to the hostel. I didn't go direct to the security, but I went to online because I was meeting some of my friends there. So we met, we talked a lot actually. One of them was Babu, the current MP. Yeah, there's something we were working on with him. So after that, I remember, I was called by the security. I need to attend to them. So when I reached there, the first thing they gave me was a statement from the lady. The statement from the police station, from the school, was like, a stranger by the name Mariano Simba came and raped me yesterday night. So I was like, I started laughing because it wasn't adding. Who raped you and why? You see. So I called the lady there because this was a serious case now. I called her, she was not picking my call. According to her statement, we met like a week. You see, I was a 1 week old in we meeting together. So I was like, really? So being that the security guy insisted this is a police case, so I told them it's okay. I'll take myself to the police station because there's nothing I've done wrong. So I went to Kileleshwa police station, plus the security actually, we went together. So upon reaching there, I knew this just maybe a talk and everything is okay. So upon reaching there, the first thing those people said, weka mtu ndani. You see. So at the back of my mind, something like, was this something which has been planned before? Because before we could even say anything, just upon my arrival, weka mtu ndani. And that is what happened. I took 3 days without no one talking to me, which was totally against the law, which instead that a person who has been arrested should not take more than 24 hours. It was the 3rd day. Then the 4th day, the lady came and I was called. So when I was called, I went to the OCS office. We were there, the OCS, another police officer, plus the lady. What I was asked from there is that you are a Luo, you have money. That was the word I was told. You have money. So I was like, really? What are you talking about? I have money. How? I'm an actor, I'm a student. Where do I get that kind of money? So the guy, I was told like they want 1 million for them to drop this case. So I was like, you guys, are you out of your mind?
Who was asking? The OCS?
Yeah. One of the cop who was with the OCS. Then they said I should give half a million. We came up to almost 400,000. So I was like, I don't know even what you guys are talking about. So the moment I said, I don't know what you guys are talking about, the lady decided to speak. She told me in front of the guy that, Mariano, you have money. So what came over, what I remember is that some few days ago, she sold the check. So I asked, like, really, why are you doing this? Is it because of the check you saw? This, first of all, it wasn't my money. You know, when you do tenders, you take the job, you borrow money from other people so that at least you can do your successful job. Then after that, you do what? You give them back. I told her this wasn't even my money. To make it worse, I'm not like the only person working on this. They could not understand me and I was taken back. So the next day, early in the morning, I was taken to Kibera Law Court. So when I was being harassed along from police station to Kibra, you see. So upon reaching Kibra Law Court, I remember one of the police officers who escort people to the court. He told one of the guys that I've been informed to take him to Court Juma. You see. So Court Juma, everyone knows. Me, I was totally green. Court Juma, ikuna nini? You see. And I felt like me, Court Juma, Juma, that was the way it was written. So when I went there, they read the plea. Are you guilty or not? I was like, how can I be guilty and this is my girlfriend? So I was told, okay, for that, you will be called after another 14 days.
So back in the cell?
Yeah, now back in the cell.
You don't have any lawyer friends? You don't have anyone you can
No,
call?
I didn't have any lawyer, so I had to call my uncle, my cousin actually. So I called my cousin, we communicated, and after that, within 3 days, he gave me some lawyers, actually 3 lawyers, to look into the case and everything. So, you know, lawyers normally want the case to proceed so that at least with them also they can benefit. So, yeah. So we started the appeal. Yeah, we requested for appeal, so that not appeal, we requested for the bond or the cash bill so that I can do this case when I'm outside. Yeah, for the first time, the magistrate refused and I was taken back to my industrial area for 14 days. Then after 14 days, I was called again. I went to court and I was given a bond, not cash bill. They refused the cash bill. I was given a bond of 300,000. So after giving a bond of 300,000, my cousin gave out the logbook. They filled everything. And it wasn't normal for a magistrate to make a mistake in signing of the what? The bond of my bond. What happened? The magistrate signed in a place where he was not supposed to sign. And after my lawyers finishing everything, there was an error. And it was on Friday. Which means that you are going to sleep here for another 2 more days. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday to start another new bond. You see, another process. Then after this, we went through everything. And I was out of the remand actually. So I was doing the case while I was outside.
How long did that last?
How long?
The case. How long did that last?
Almost 5 years, from 2013 to 2017.
Oh. 5 years in and out of court?
I was out of court, but I used to go to court every day.
And you were remanded for how long before the...
For almost 2 months.
2 months in remand?
In remand, in the industrial area.
That's plus at the police cell, at the police station?
Yeah, no. That one is in the remand.
Hey. Industrial area?
Industrial area.
How was it there?
India is expensive. Let me say that. Very expensive.
What does that mean?
When I say industrial area is extremely expensive, everything are being sold. You buy everything, even where you sleep. Yeah.
Well, if you want a choice neighborhood in the cell,
Yeah.
which is the nicest part of the cell to sleep? Next to the door.
No. State House.
That's the corner.
State House.
Inaitwa State House?
Yeah, Inaitwa State House.
Kwa nini?
At least the environment. Okay, you guys you are in a hall, right? But so there's an entrance. You go the other side down. So there's a toilet. In fact, in industrial area, people used to relieve themselves in a basket.
A bucket.
In a bucket. So, using the bucket from the going downwards toward the bucket, that is now we call pipeline. Yeah, they have names actually. And the same name also exists in prison. Now, remember, these are remand.
Right.
So, when you sleep towards those sides, that is pipeline.
Oh, so near the bucket is pipeline. Just like the real pipeline here in London.
Yeah. So,
And State Houses?
yeah, State House.
Diagonally at the corner.
Before State House, there's a Karen. Yeah. So Karen always is opposite State House, directly opposite State House.
Kuna Muthaiga?
Mudaiga and Kileleshwa is there.
And then there's pipeline and what else?
No, just pipeline. Everyone, any new person who come for the first time, you go at the pipeline. So for you to get yourself from pipeline, either to Mudaiga, Karen, to State House, you have to use money. You buy a place where you sleep.
You know, you don't seem to have had a bad experience in prison, Meshack. I don't know. Maybe you...
You know, with me, what I learned when you are there, first of all, accept where you are. Yes, I'm in prison. Yes, I'm in a remand. Then you start adapting that culture. But the moment you live in a denial, my friend, you will die. It's not easy.
A lot of people in denial?
Yeah, a lot of people. I witnessed many people even die because of that.
In the prison?
And the majority of the people who die, these people have a short sentence, either less than 5 months.
And they kill themselves? Or?
Yeah, you get like someone is frustrated, they get sick, they die just like that. And when their sentence is less than even 5 months.
Okay, so for 5 years you're in and out of court.
So 5 years I was in and out of court.
And then in the end they sentenced you.
The day I was sentenced, you remember when the court nullified the election of the president, and the Chief Justice Maraga declared 26th, right?
Right.
The next day after that was my day of going to court. So I left the house. You see, I left the house. Actually, I left my wife who was pregnant. Okay, I met my wife when I was out of bond.
And you told her what you're going through?
I told her from the beginning. I told her what I was going through. I told her I've been accused with a rape case, and I'm going through this thing. So if you're okay with me, we can go through this thing together. You can help me.
And she agreed to marry.
She agreed with that. So we even used to go to court together. Yeah. So on that day, she was pregnant. Yeah, she was pregnant, almost 7 months, 6-7 months pregnant, heavily. That totally, she was a bit tired. So I told her I'm going to court, and I'll be back because I was supposed to have another meeting somewhere. So I went to court as usual. So before I went to court, when the lady was testifying for a case, and she was totally lying almost in everything she was talking about. Even in her statement at the court, at the police station, she quoted me as a stranger. My lawyer provided every document. I used to pay a visit from the school, from the prison, the reception and at the hostel. Everything, you see, we had everything proving that we are no longer strangers. We provided that. To make it worse, that's why now we didn't understand why I was being jailed. The lady said that I left her unconscious when I was leaving the hostel. And when cross-examination with the lawyer, when she was asked, we produced the pictures. You remember I took her some of the pictures?
Yes.
We produced those pictures in court. And she was asked, was this picture taken before or after? You see? And she said the pictures was taken after
the incident.
Mm-hmm. You see? How will you pose as a model for the pictures? Then again, you say that you were raped. It was not adding up.
Okay, so in the end, the judge said?
So in the end, I also made a mistake within the court. I took some, when she was testifying, I took some pictures, at least just to remember one day what I went through, which is normal to someone who have never been to court. I never know ignorance before court is a crime. That is what I was told. So, you know, when you are at the dock, there's a police officer, Kenya police officer and a prison officer. So the lady who was a Kenya police officer grabbed my phone after she saw me taking the picture. So after grabbing the phone, she said that she want 1,000 bob to give me back my phone. It didn't interfere with the court session. We even finished everything well. So I called my lawyer to communicate with this lady because we were not understanding each other. So the lawyer said, but this is just a petty issue. Why don't you guys finish it? So the lady turned this story from a petty issue to her being petty. You see, she started shouting, "You are calling me petty." You see that? So she decided let's go to the magistrate. So we went to the chambers. Upon reaching at the chambers, because my phone had a password, so I have to be given the phone back to open the password. So under the supervision of the magistrate. So I opened my password, and the prosecutor took my phone, started going through those pictures, and the magistrate asked, why were you doing this? I explained that I'm totally green in this. I just wanted to remember maybe one day when I'm out, this is what I went through. You see. So she said that being that the incident didn't interfere with her case, she has no problem with that. And she even told me, next time, don't do that. So when we were talking, the prosecutor was going through my pictures now. She went into my gallery. She was now going through my pictures. And upon going through the pictures, she came across some of the pictures. You see, I'm an actor. So some of the pictures she came across was a military combat I was wearing actually, and a gun, a machine gun, and all those stuff. We were doing a military movie. So you know, when we are doing a military movie, me, I'm an actor. An actor does not know where these things are coming from. You see. So when she saw the pictures, she didn't even talk to me. What she did, she called the DCI. So after calling the DCI, we were still talking. Within few minutes, the guys were there. So immediately after leaving the chambers, those guys, 3 of them, jumped on me. So it was we have to wrestle. You see, they didn't introduce themselves. This guy just arrested me. So the lawyer was like, why is my client being arrested? And where are you taking him? No one was talking. So one of them said, you can follow us to Kilimani police station.
Back to Kilimani?
Back to Kilimani. And now this is another case within the case. You see. So what happened, I was taken to Kilimani, and along the way she was asking, they were asking in the Subaru car, where are these guns? And I was like, which guns are you talking about? I'm not a criminal. So I was taken to Kilimani. I was taken to Kilimani, the DCI wing. They put me in a certain place, a room actually. So after a few minutes, one of them came, a Luo guy. So he was like, Simba, this is something which is totally, these are something small. What you do, just give us these guns And I was like, which gun are you talking about? So they had to print the pictures and they gave me, and I was like, oh, am I being arrested because of this? And I was like, I'm an actor. So I was like, okay, I only know one person who is the casting director of this film, the one I did. So I had to give out the casting director, Nelly Juma, their contact, and they called the Nelly Juma. So when they called Nelly Juma was on his way to airport going to US. You see. So when they called, they were like, do you know Meshack Simba? No one knows me with that name. So he said, no, I don't know Meshack Simba. So they told me, like, you are lying, he doesn't know you. So I told them, what you do, give me a call, let me talk to him. So they put loudspeaker, they call again, and when Nelly picked, I told him, like, oh, this is Mariano Simba, the actor, the tall guy. And I was like, oh, my son, how are you? I'm fine. Then I was like, I've been arrested with the pictures, you see. So after that, he said that, why were you posting those pictures? It's not actually with the government, they will not understand that easy. But so what he did, he gave out another number, the DOD, the military based in DOD, Amari officer, who was there when we were doing this thing. You know, they normally follow the channel, of receiving this gun legal way. So they called the guy. Unfortunate, when he was being called, he was actually going home. He already was in Nyeri with his family. So we had I had to convince the guy, talk to him, because he knows me. You see, when you are totally different in a group, like either I was very sharp in terms of shooting when we were rehearsing and everything. So I was sharpshooter, and was like, why don't you join the military? You are really good, you have qualities. So the guy remembered me, and after talking to him actually, so he was like, I'm going home. Okay, let me come back. The guy made a U-turn from Nyeri town to Nairobi just to come and rescue me. So I took over 5 hours interrogated about these guns.
Did he finally come?
The guy finally came.
Were you rescued?
Yeah, I was rescued.
Okay, let's go back to the court case. And then the judge sentenced you to 10 years.
So through this process, when I was doing all this thing, when the prosecutor realized that I was released, you remember taking some pictures. The prosecutor plus the Kenya police lady, they again open another case of recording of judiciary without the concept of court.
So when it raised
that
the
was
price,
So when they felt like I was out of the hook from these guns, now they had to open another case.
And the rape is still there.
The rape is still there. Now recording of the judiciary without the concept of the court. That was another case. And I slept there actually.
At the police cell?
At the police cell.
Kilimani.
Kilimani. Very early in the morning, I was taken back to the same court.
And let me ask you, the day now when they found you, the picture story,
Yeah.
Your court session had ended.
Had ended.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now from this,
And the judge had no problem with
The
it.
judge had no problem.
It's just the prosecutor.
It
and
was
the,
that-
and this
that's
was
the
because of that 1,000 you didn't give out.
I didn't give out.
Okay?
And my lawyer calling the issue a bit, it's a
Petty.
Yeah.
What happened on that day? Because you said you went there with your wife and everything.
Yeah,
You
so
knew things
actually it was I went on the sentencing day, I went there alone because I told my wife I'm coming because I was to go somewhere in the afternoon. So I went to court plus my lawyers, and according to the magistrate, Honorable Elizabeth Juma, she said that I have a case to answer. So once you are being told that you have a case to answer, then automatically there is a sentence. So the lawyer insisted that if you want to sentence him, just do it now. There's no need of giving him another week, another date. So she told me like I've been sentenced to 10 years.
Even after listening to all that contradiction?
Everything, yeah.
It was a female judge, yeah?
That panel, they were all women. The magistrate, the prosecutor, the court clerk, all that, the protocol, they're all women, you see, against me being a man. So after that, I was sentenced to 10 years, and I was like, really? What's going on? I was so confused, totally confused. My wife, she even came actually. I called her, she came. Well, I had already been sentenced to 10 years, so the law was like, we need to appeal this case. So I was taken to industrial area. Industrial area, I took almost a week. She was even conned at the industrial area.
Who?
My wife. She was conned by the police officers, the prison officers.
They told her what? To give some money and then they'll release you?
No. She was told that 10 years your husband is going to committee maximum. You know, they threaten you because you're totally green. But there's a way we can do to take him to a medium prison, not committee.
Is that where you ended up?
Yeah, that is where I ended up.
How was that?
Being for the first time in prison, it wasn't easy.
It's worse than remand?
Yeah, no, but remand is totally different. Wow. But now prison, you are totally a property of the government.
What does that mean?
You are there to be seen and not to be heard.
What does that mean?
Yani, you are there, you follow the rules and regulation of the prison. You don't have a right to complain too much about Jimara, I want this, I want that. No, you don't do that. Now you follow exactly the way you're being told. So I remember I was told, like, in my case, 10 years, you need to do something. So I was taken to a carpentry side. So I was in the carpentry for 2 months. Then on the 3rd month, I had another PO. Remember the case I was telling you that I have another case? Yeah, my case followed me to the prison. So I had another date with the court. And at the same time, we were pushing for my appeal. So my father-in-law, through my wife, they got another lawyer, another prosecutor, called SB Otieno. He's a good guy, actually. He's the one who, he came and followed, he read everything and he told me, like, this case, I don't see the reason why you were sentenced. But anyway, I can take this one on. So I was like, if you are sure this case is not going to take me to life in prison, then let's go ahead. Let's do the case. So after going there all the time, one of the magistrates who I was actually attending to told me, like, Simba, why don't you change your plea? Because you are serving 10 years in prison. Why don't you change your plea so that we can give you another case that can be, that can merge them together. You see, the concurrent. Yeah, so that your case, because the other one, the rape case is more bigger than this, we can sentence you so that it can be merged together under concurrent. And I was like, it's a good idea, but I have to consult the lawyer. So we talked with the lawyer, and it was like, it was okay. Recording or taking a picture in court is like maybe your phone has rung inside the court. The sentence is maybe 1 day you're cleaning the entire court. You see, that is the sentence. Most of the people were like, but this is just a 1 day case. Do you know we had to change the plea? And upon changing the plea, I was sentenced to 1 year in prison.
Another extra year?
Another extra year.
For that recording?
Yeah, for only recording. I was sentenced to 1 year.
Where?
So you're doing 10 plus 1?
10 plus 1.
But now concurrently?
Yeah. So
now, you said did you ever meet this girl that who accused you again?
No, I've never met her.
How long did you serve inside Nairobi West?
Nairobi West, actually, I served for 2 years.
2 years?
2 years. And I remember through the process of being there, I was elected to represent the prisoners. So I was the governor of Nairobi West Prison. Or we call themselves Mjumbe. Yeah, I was the governor.
Let me ask you,
yes.
Is there anything you would tell young men out there? Because a lot of people get into this, and I hear rape is the worst thing. Like, of late, it's recently that it's a bailable offense. But before it wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't.
So what do you tell the youth? People?
Yeah, actually, what I will tell my brothers and sisters out there, there are some things we personally as youths, we can do without. You see, most of these youths normally do a lot of crime. You see, but once you know that your conscience is totally right. The best thing, stay away from crime, because crime does not pay. And once once you have been where I am, actually where I was before, the best thing you can do, just okay, because as per now, what I'm planning to do, let me say that I'm planning to actually have a journey of going to prisons, going to youth centers to talk to youths about my story, and also about some cases that can land them into problems, you see. And also I will urge many youths to stay away from things that can actually interfere with their lives.
How do people get in touch with you, Meshack, just in case they may want some advice right now?
Yeah, actually you can give out my number, or they can look me. I'm on social media as IG. My IG is Chief Mariano _landlord. My Facebook is Mariano Simba, and also my Twitter is Chief Mariano Landlord. Chief Mariano _landlord. Yeah.
Chief Mariano Landlord.
Yeah.
Mariano Simba.
Yes.
Or Meshack Simba.
So I hope nowadays you handle your checks personally.
My friend, I hope maybe one day I'll get back to my feet again, because I remember being in prison. I lost my brother while I was in prison.
Are you allowed to go for funerals if you're in prison?
No, I was not allowed. My brother died through accident, was buried when I was in prison. 2 weeks after I was out, I also lost my dad. So it's painful, actually, losing two people within a month. And
do you feel like your life has been wasted?
I felt like my life was totally wasted.
What would you tell this woman who accused you today? If she was listening to you right now, what would you tell her?
What I would tell her is that I moved on, and I decided not to hold anything back, because maybe God had a reason why everything had to happen the way it happened, actually. You see, it's God who gives life, and me going to prison made me learn a lot of things, but I will not advise other people to go through what I went through.
What was the greatest lesson you learned? The greatest lesson you learned in prison?
In prison? Actually, I learned a lot of lessons, actually.
The greatest one? Give one.
How to make furniture, maybe?
No. Just to be strong.
Just to be strong?
Just to be strong. And accept every place you are. Accept the environment you are, actually.
Would you say that your girlfriend was a really jealous or malicious person?
Maybe even jealousy was part of it too. Yeah.
But you've forgiven her?
I've forgiven her.